Okay, ladies, Sisterhood Team Call, April 7th. Love seeing all your faces. Of course, my dog. Let's open it up for recognition.
All right, maybe I'll jump in and go first. I want to take a quick minute to introduce the newest Fire and Freedom coach, Corinne Barrette. Corinne is a kindergarten teacher, bless her soul, and is already sitting at SC4, which is amazing because she said, I'm kind of going to see where this goes. I'm not going to like directly invite anybody, and I'm just going to, and here she is, SC4 on like, what are we, the 4th of April, something like that. So welcome, Corinne.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
I'll go. I just want to welcome Tori. This is her first call. She's, I don't know if she knows this actually, but she was the very, very first person to sign up with me when I began coaching back in December. And so she's been doing the program since the beginning of this year. And she's decided to take the plunge into coaching. So she just signed up as a coach this weekend. So this is her first call, and like we all say, she's going to see how it goes, but I have no doubt that she's going to kick ass at this.
That's awesome. Anybody else? I want to shout out Andrea Young, who is officially a success starter. So excited for you. This is the coolest, I think the coolest recognition, to be able to be in the test group, to get a free ticket to Summit if that ever happens. But the test group is just so huge. And I think especially after this one, well, all of them, but we've seen these coaches really like use this opportunity. It's such a massive opportunity. So Andrea, I'm so proud of you. You came out the gate with so much fire, and I can't wait to see what program you do. And then I also wanted to shout out Erin Gerward. I don't think she's on the call, but she was contacted today by head office to let her know that she is number 33 in Canada. And I know that there are so many other sisterhood members on there. I think Marino was number 30, Sophie's 21, Erin is number 11. Like the Canada charts are blowing up. I know there's tons of other ladies there. So we will, shout everybody out tomorrow. Erin, if you know any of the others off the top of your head. But yeah, I'm just really proud of you all, ladies. So congrats.
Yeah, I'll jump in because I was totally excited to shout everybody out. Milan is number 18, and Sophie's number 21, and Marina's number 30, and I don't even know the others, but those are just the ones who told me. So if you got contacted today by Jake Story, please take yourself off mute so that we can shout you out, because that is huge. Like, that is huge. So massive congrats to you guys. You guys are amazing. I also want to give a really big shout out to Courtney. I don't know if you guys realize this, if you saw in the event details for this weekend, but this weekend is a super, super Saturday virtual weekend quarterly event. And honestly, this weekend, Courtney is one of the main features in the event. They are doing a huge story on Courtney. She is the coach success story, and it's really her being vulnerable and sharing her story, and it's a really big freaking deal. So massive congrats to you, Courtney. It's huge, and I can't wait to watch with everybody on Saturday to cheer you on and support you. So for those of you who haven't seen, I did create an event in the Sisterhood Coach page. That's going to be Saturday at noon EST. We'll also come together on a Zoom so we can all watch it together and cheer on Courtney and hear all the greatest news and updates and things that are coming. So we're super pumped because usually this one they start to kind of leak the things that are coming for this summer, which is really exciting. I also wanted to give a shout out to all of you who are doing the Let's Get Up test group, specifically my coaches that I can think of, Marianne, Courtney, Sydney, all of you guys are really putting yourselves out there and so like sharing in such a like vulnerable, authentic, and real way. And I've just loved watching you, not only you three, but all of you who are doing it and sharing, like just grow so much through this experience, being scared and doubting and vulnerable, and then, you know, putting yourself out there and actually sharing it. And then like seeing the repercussions of doing the scary thing and being vulnerable and coming out the other side. So I'm just so, honestly, it's been a joy to watch you guys, and like really, really proud of what you're doing. So congrats.
I have a shout out. I want to call out my new coach, Stacy Stewart. I don't know if she's on. She came on the call last week. She had like just started coaching, was doing the April coach mentorship. And after the call, I was like, how was it? She's like, overwhelming. So, you know, totally like get that feeling when you're a brand new coach, but she's already signing up her first challenger. And I think that her challenger is going to sign up as a discount coach. So like one more and she's Emerald. She's doing all of the things. She's showing up every single day on social media. She's already talking to the camera and like figuring it out and has all of the questions and is just like doing it. And so I feel like she's such a great example of like diving in and learning as you go. And it's the coolest thing to watch her. So way to go, Stacy.
Can I just share really quick before you guys start? I know that my coach partner, Stephanie, is not on the call. She had something else to do for her other business tonight, but I think she is going to watch. And we launched our own brand on Monday called Unbridled Fitness. So I'm really excited to be able to do that with her because we have been friends for a long time. We share passion for horses. We're both moms and sort of had to give it up to become moms, and now we're working towards bringing that back and working towards finding something for ourselves again. So I'm so happy that she is willing to do this with me, and I'm pretty sure she will be watching this, but I don't think she's on right now.
All right, guys, any other shout outs, recognition? Like just take yourself off mute if anybody else has anything to share. Otherwise, we'll get started. Okay. So tonight we, like Courtney and I went back and forth on what to talk about tonight in the call for so long. I know I've told you guys before, like we always have these calls every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. If the event listed isn't, like the event details aren't there by Monday or Tuesday, don't panic. There is still a call. We're just literally still trying to figure out what we're going to talk to you guys about. Like we pride ourselves by making these calls useful, valuable, tactical, and like good training and information for you guys. So every week we're like, what are we going to talk about this week? So this week, honestly, we had something and then we decided to refocus and reshift. And we really want to talk to you guys about being the light. A large majority of us are in Ontario, and we've just got the news of the, you know, lockdown and then stay-at-home order, and it feels a little grim. It feels a little grim, not necessarily in our community, but in the greater Ontario community right now. And we wanted to talk about being the light and showing up for everybody during this really hard time, and ultimately how you can support people who are going through a hard time or support people who are in a bad place right now. Ultimately, I think that we really have a choice. Right? Everybody has a choice. Every day you have a choice. Either you can take the bad news, you can crumble and go and sit in your bed, get under the covers, cry, feel sad, you can eat all the things, you can like succumb to the negative thoughts, you can all the things, or you can choose to be like, this sucks, but I'm going to get up again tomorrow morning. I'm going to do my workout again. I'm going to focus on the reading and meditation. I'm going to do what I can to get through this. And ultimately, that's what this business is, guys. That's what being a coach is showing up during these hard times, doing what you can to stay in the light, and inspiring other people to do that. I think now more than ever, we have a massive opportunity to share the light and to be the light and the joy for other people, so that you can help to brighten somebody else's day. I know for the longest time, I simply saw my social media as a way to make somebody else smile or bring some joy to a rather dark social media space, or just to like bring some light. And I think now more than ever that's what we're here for. This is the time truly for us to lean in, for us to go all in on what we do, right? Being coaches is going, good night, sweetie, I love you. I don't know, I'll look. Oh, it's in my room on my desk. Sorry, guys. Okay, so ultimately, how can we support people? How can we help people find the joy? And the first thing that I can think of is to walk the walk and try and find it ourselves. Because I know that there are people here who just want to cry and eat all the things and crawl into your bed and not do it, right? It's so much easier to succumb to the negativity. It's so much easier to be sad. It's so much easier to be like, this sucks. I feel sorry for myself. I don't want to do it anymore. That's easier. And that's why this job isn't necessarily for everybody, because it forces you to look inside. It forces you to do the hard work. It forces you to kind of keep showing up for the good, keep showing up for the light, keep showing up for you. And that's why this job is so amazing, because no other job in the world is forcing you to be your best and to get up again tomorrow morning and keep trying. But this is the time, guys, this is your, I don't even know the words. This is your like Stanley Cup. Like, this is the opportunity to do the thing, but it takes you kind of like diving deep and gut checking yourself and saying, am I eating all my kids' leftover Easter egg candy right now? Or am I going to share how hard this is and how I'm getting through it? Walk the walk, be the proof of the product, like show up for yourself and get through this. It's okay if you make this about you right now. It's okay if you don't have your coach hat on right now. It's okay to say, guys, I'm sad, I'm struggling, this was hard, but this is what I'm going to do about it. Like literally, Jen shared some amazing tips this week about like being happy and getting out and walking in the sun and feeling the fresh air and putting music on. Guys, like that's the simplest tip and it works. Like give yourself a chance to feel the light and then just share that with each other. Share that with your community. Share that on your social media. You have to start, like this is your chance to really focus on you and be the proof of these products. We have the greatest opportunity coming up with Shanti's program. Like, I don't think that there's a better program suited for this world than this is right now. If you aren't leaning into this program and strategizing on how you're going to launch it, it's not too late. Get a plan and start talking about it. Start spreading the joy. Start sharing his stuff, because he's got like oozing joy and love and positivity. Like he's on vacation and it looks like he's like literally living the life. Okay. I think that, like, to be honest, in the beginning, when I started this, I was really embarrassed. That's an understatement, but I was really shy to share on social media. I felt like I was literally doing the same thing every day. I was showing up in the same way every day. I was so repetitive. It was literally like my morning routine, my workout, what I was eating. It felt so like, who cares about this? But then people started sending me messages and saying, oh my God, you're so inspiring. I look for your stuff every single morning. Thank you for continuing to share this. It's helping me. And it's not even like they were signing up with me. I just felt like I was having an impact on people's day. Like, guys, you are inspiring people you don't even know are watching you. I guarantee it. I didn't know Milen was watching me for a year. She wouldn't even sign up on Instagram or follow me, but she was watching me. And I only know that now because she's so confident and she told me now, but she would have never told me that a year later. We were friends. We went out for dinner and I was like, guys, I'm doing this thing. And she was like, I guarantee you, you are the light for people. I have people sometimes say to me, like, I sometimes I'm like, oh, this is too much. Like, people probably think I'm so annoying. No. And they're like, keep doing this. People need the happy. People need the joy. Keep showing up. You have to, like, now's your chance to make people smile, to like be a joy to watch. Share the good. There's not a lot of good out there right now. Share the good. Be the good. You are inspiring. I'm saying it again. You are inspiring people you don't even know are watching you. And if you think you're wrong, you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. You're wrong. I guarantee you. It's funny because I think often as coaches, it's so easy for us to compare ourselves to each other, right? Like even Court and I daily compare ourselves to each other. I like daily, the comparison game is hard, right? You're like, oh, she's got this, she's doing this. Oh, that was such a good story. Oh, I should have thought of that. I should have done that post. The reality is, guys, is that the people who are watching you on a daily basis, you're their person. You're their person. You might be looking at me or Jen or Sophie or Milan and like, oh, they're doing it so much better. I'm not there yet. The people following you aren't following me. You are their shining light. You are their Courtney Swissman. You are their Birds Papaya. Like, I'm serious. You don't need to be up here with 1 million followers like the Birds Papaya to have an impact on the people in your life. They trust you. They know you. They are relating themselves to you. So get your freaking blinders on and focus on you, your own journey, and how you can be a little bit brighter, lighter, happier tomorrow. Literally go out for a walk and share that with everybody else. Okay, so that's the first tip I want to talk about was be like walk the walk. Number 2 is talk to people. Talk to people. Guys, this business is about your network. Your network is your net worth. It's the best line I've ever heard. It's about connecting with people. And now more than ever, guys, honestly, it's easier to connect with people now more than ever. Gone are the days of, where'd you get that shirt? It's now like, how are you? How are you surviving? How's the Corona coaster going for you guys? Are you at home? Are you at work? Are your kids at home? How is it going? Like, are you feeling the mental stress right now? Like, are you doing anything for your release? Like, what? Like, it's so easy to connect with people. And honestly, now more than ever, people are so isolated and so alone and lacking community. Like, look at how abundant we are right now. Like, there's almost 70 people on this call. We have so much opportunity for connection and community and support here. You guys don't know how good this is. You have so much to offer. It's seriously Corona coaster. Honestly, people need to be checked in on. Is all I'm saying. It's so easy now more than ever to connect with people and see how they're doing and talk to them about the Corona coaster, the mental health, the physical health, all the stress. And honestly, I know one of my coaches, Tina, today was asking me, she's like, I don't know how to talk to people now that like I've gone from my people, my warm market to now I'm talking to a little bit more strangers. Like, how do you get the conversation to, hey, how are you, to, do you want to join us? And it's so easy now more than ever if you're just connected with people and seeing how they're doing, how they've been surviving, how this pandemic has impacted them. And if you're showing up every single day in your stories, sharing the things you're doing, and they're watching you, that conversation naturally goes there. It really does. But if you're not showing up every day in your stories and sharing the things that are helping you, then you being like, so what are you doing? How are you helping yourself? That kind of feels like out of nowhere. For me, when I start talking to people about their mental health or their physical health or what they're doing to stay like abundant during this time, it's applicable, because that's what I talk about all day. That's what I talk about in my stories. So share what's working for you and connect with other people on what's working for them. Be a sounding board, be a good listener, ask good questions. Make your stories about you and how you're getting through this, and make your inbox about them. How are they getting through this? How are they doing? Ask the right questions that will lead to great conversation and building that connection and trust. And then you can say, this is what I've been doing. It's really been helping. We actually have this crazy, joyous, like body positivity, joy and movement program coming out. Like, I feel like it's perfect for you. Would you want to do it with us? You have a massive opportunity, guys. And like, I kind of feel speechless thinking about this, but we have 70 people on this call right now, and I know more who will watch the recording later, but 70 people who are now focused on spreading joy, positivity, light. You want to have impact on this world? This is it. This is it. Think about how much joy we can spread. It feels so cheesy, but it's serious. Like, think about the impact we could have if all 70 of us spoke to 5 people after this call tonight and checked in on them, checked in on their mental health, checked in on how they're doing with their family, checked in on how they're surviving mom life. Like, that is impact. That is important work. That is really cool. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Jen.
After that, like, mic drop. Honestly, though, like, I got chills hearing that, because you're so right, Erin. And that is, like, you know, so many of us, we get into this business for different reasons, but I can tell you 99% of us, one of the reasons we gave our upline is, I want to help other people feel as good as I feel right now. And so put that into action. Like Erin said, like, walk that freaking walk right now. And I know that I'm always kind of blasting at you guys about PD, but I can't help but share the impact that it can have on that, and giving you content to share. So, like, asking you right now, how is your personal development helping you? And how is it helping others? So not only taking a real honest conversation with yourself about the fact that, like, are you really doing personal development right now? You guys know we have 4 pillars of being a coach, and one of those, a quarter of what we are kind of like, what makes up our whole thing, our whole industry, is our own personal development, because this is hard and it's not easy necessarily to show up and be the light during a hard time like this. But the more you work on yourself, the more you're going to have that strength and that power to be able to work on others. But I really want to encourage you to not keep your personal development to you. There is a phrase that I've heard, ILT, which I tell all of my new coaches when they start, about invest, learn, and teach. So if you feel like you're struggling right now to find anything to talk about, you feel like you're struggling for content, or you just don't know what to share in your stories or whatever, invest some time, learn something new, and then teach it to people. I have to preface this by saying, in no way do you need to become an expert. In no way do you have to suddenly become like a guru of meditation or whatever. But spend a bit of time listening to something that you know that you could share, that could help some of your followers, that could help the women like you. Because if it resonates with you, chances are it resonates with them. So, like, are you struggling with your sleep right now? Are you struggling with your self-esteem? Are you struggling with self-confidence? Are you struggling with binge eating or emotional eating or drinking or any of the things? Go and then search out some podcasts or some Audible books or something that will help you learn a little bit about it and give you the inspiration to then share it with your people. And you never have to come across as the expert. You never have to, you should never be claiming these ideas as your own or anything like that, but give credit to the experts and say, like, I remember when I first started waking up early, it was because of Mel Robbins and the 5-second rule. And I blasted that all over my Instagram. Like, you guys, Mel Robbins, this 5-second rule, it's incredible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up. I had people messaging me all the time. Like, what is this? What is this trick? And I was sending them her YouTube video, and I was sending them links to her book and all of the things. But it really was such an incredible way that it served me, but it really, really helped to serve my following too. So I really want to encourage you. And like Erin said, like, now is the time. Now is our time to really lean in. And if you yourself are struggling, like Erin said about walking the walk right now, like, what are you doing for personal development? What are you doing? And how can you utilize that to not only boost yourself, but to boost those around you? So the other thing is, so when you're doing your personal development, like, keep in mind, it can be done through any way that serves you, right? But make sure that it's not just surface level. Like we joke about, like, you know, reading a page of Heart Talk doesn't count as personal development. Like personal development should be something that it digs deep for you. And it helps you with finding solutions and things that are going to help you. So I would encourage you to seek out some things and to look up things that, you know, might interest you, that might interest your following, and then focus on the takeaways. Focus on what it is that you're getting. Like take notes. Like I was reading this one, the happiness equation, which really good. And it just started. And in it, there were like these 6 tips to being happy. And that's where I got that tip about going for 3 20-minute walks a week. And then Erin heard me say that, and then it inspired her to go on that walk and to share that in her stories too. So don't ever feel like you need to be coming up with this stuff, that you have to be the expert, but use your personal development, like Erin said too, you know, like to showcase how it's helping you and how it's moving you forward in your journey. So I want to challenge you right now. Raise your hand, actually, give me a show of hands. Who could say that they are reading or consuming something of personal development right now? All right, pretty good, pretty good. So make sure, if you're not, I challenge you when you get off this call tonight to Google something that you can listen to or consume that could help you and that you think might be helping, that you might be able to share and help with others as well. So podcasts, Amazon Audible is great if you're busy and you don't have time to, feel free to drop in the chat right now too, some of the things that you like, or some of maybe your best, your favorite ones that you've shared. Yes. So find something and reach out to people around you too in the community if you feel like you need something that will benefit you right now as well. But even like podcasts, like often, this is just my final point, you know, like often when I'm going through podcast episodes, for example, I'll be looking at different topics, and I'll ask myself, okay, what do I want to hear? But what do my people want to hear? What do my people need to hear? And like, I listened to a podcast today about Jay Shetty was giving like 6 tips to get better sleep. And I'm an amazing sleeper. I didn't really need to listen to the podcast, but it was really helpful tips. And I'm sure a lot of people could benefit from it. So I'm likely going to talk about that and share those tips and offer that as value. So it's just a great way for you to be able to show up and to provide value right now and continue to be that light. So I'm going to toss it over to Courtney.
Thanks, Jen. And yeah, I would encourage you, like, I struggle with PD. I really do. I rarely finish a book, like not proud of that at all, but I keep trying. Like I really do. I keep buying new books. I keep reading them to whatever capacity I can. And I'm hoping to find things that resonate with me. So if you're like struggling to get through something, there's no shame in that game. Pick up something new, try something different, you know, and if you're over it, then move on. But continuing to try, I think, is the most important part. I want to talk a little bit about just maybe, I want to walk you through something that I've been walking through, and Erin and I have been walking through in the past month. I mean, actually, no, in our entire 3 years of coaching, but an exercise that might help you be more of a joy to the people that are watching you, but also be more value. So as most of you know, Kim Fitzpatrick is my upline. And a couple years ago when I was at New Leader Conference in LA, we were on a walk. We were walking the Hollywood Hills, and we were talking, and I was really trying to pick her brain about like what she's doing that's different, because I was working the business full time at that point, and I was like maybe hitting a C20, like not far off from where I'm at now, and she was always hitting like massive Success Club numbers, and I couldn't figure out the difference. And I kept challenging her, like, I feel like she's not great at sharing what she does, like she just does. But then on a really tactical level, I could never get out of her, but like, really, how are you bringing in these types of numbers, you know? And just over the past, she basically told me that she does the daily activity tracker 17,000 times and I'm only doing it once. And I was like, sure. But I even know her well enough to know that like, she's actually not even that organized. So I didn't believe her to the core. And because I didn't believe her to the core, for the next 2 years since that conversation, I have continuously gone back to this with her and been like, but what are you doing here? And really, what are you doing in this? And really trying to dig from her, like, what's different? Like, why does she have this massive success bringing in clients and onboarding coaches when, not to say that I don't or that we don't, we obviously have great success, but there's a large difference in numbers, right? And I had a conversation with her about a month ago and I looped back to this again and I really was pushing, and she was borderline annoyed because she didn't know how to respond. And I was just really pushing. And she said to me, what's the last free group you ran? And I was like, well, we run like the, like the 5-day challenge group. And she's like, no, like free group, like about something, like a topic. And I was like, well, we don't do those. Like, I'm like, those don't feel like hit home for me. Like, we don't do those. And she's like, okay, well, I do. And that's where I get all my clients. And I'm just like, like, I'm so annoyed. Like, don't even bring this free group bullshit to me again, And she's like, no, but really, Courtney, like, you and Erin have built the sisterhood and that's great. And you guys like offset each other with your differences and everything. But I'm not doing that. I'm actually only speaking to the people that are like me. And I'm really like figuring out like, what things that I need in my life. And that's what I'm sharing. And like, so slowly as she started talking, I just really, I started to understand the answer. She wasn't giving it to me, but I was learning it. And truly the answer to my fundamental question that I'm always trying to dig out of Kim, the answer is that she adds more value. She adds more value to the people that watch her stories and they feel connected to that. And it really, I walked away and I called Erin right away, like just to like sort of dissect the whole conversation and talk about what we're doing in our communities for the 17,000th time, like was bond groups a mistake? Like, the whole thing. And what I really came away with is that she's right on that. We're ready to start strongs month in, month out, doing all these things. And it's super monotonous. And I wasn't doing anything that really sparked my joy. I wasn't hosting a group that I really felt excited about. And at the time, I was just about to finish that 3-week cleanse I was doing, and I did it at 100%. And I was just feeling like, I wish more women could get the fucking balls to finish these things at 100%. Because I see this every time. It's like, oh, well, yeah, but I had the glass of wine, but otherwise, and I'm just like, oh, like I wish that they could complete it because then they would feel this amazing feeling, right? And then I started to think like, I feel like I'm really good at this. I'm really good at going all in when I choose to. And so I decided to host a group doing that. Because I made that decision and I started talking about this and I felt the passion in what I was talking about, because old customers that I thought had completely moved on had re-engaged in conversation with me and said like, I need this, like, this is my time. Like, can I do this group? And what I thought might be like tough for me to get some people to do this group, I actually have 20 women who are all in doing this group with me. And at Success Club 14 and it's the 7th. Like, that's amazing for me. The feeling that I'm getting, knowing that I'm hosting this group that has value. Now I'm like excited about it. I'm figuring out, okay, I'm going to do 3 client Zooms every Saturday. I have a chat pod going because I feel like bod groups lacks that community. So we're adding that chat group dynamic. And then I started to have conversations with some of my coaches. I was talking to Sarah Patterson and I said, listen, this is kind of the revelation that I've had recently. I feel like you're kind of acting like a robot right now because you're a teacher that's in the trenches trying to do all the things. But at the same time, Sarah's really changed her niche in the past 6 months and is focusing on connecting with other women that have Down syndrome kids. So I said, what if you ran a Down syndrome group where you're looking for 10 Down syndrome mamas, and in that group you can talk about like, what's one win today with your child, or what's one struggle, and the other women can talk about that. And as we started to brainstorm, that sort of felt good for her. Then I had a conversation with Jen and I was like, listen, I had this conversation with Sarah and this is what I'm doing and this feels really good. you should do something like sober curious or vegan based or whatever. Like, you have so much value, you're not even sharing anymore. I think as we become coaches and we carry on and we carry on, it's like the same old bullshit, right? And you're wondering like, I lost my joy. Like, what's exciting? Like, it's the same program over and over and over again. Instead of identifying in our lives what we're going through, like Milan did with the 40 for 40 or whatever, that's what was specifically going on in her life at the time. And she wanted to share that. And you know what else is really cool when you do something like this is you find your people. Stop looking for the weirdos on Instagram to say yes and start looking for the women who that resonates with. I hardly had to invite to this group because people were messaging me. That felt really, really good. And I'm 3 years in, and you guys might think I have all my shit together and hitting success clubs, no problem. That's not the truth. That's not the truth. I work my butt off to hit SC every month, but when I found a little bit of joy in it this month, it felt really, really good. And it didn't feel like work, and it wasn't a struggle. So I started to brainstorm about some other people in this community. I started to think about Ashlyn Dion. And she talks about binge eating a lot. What if she did a group on like beat the binge? I started thinking about Jackie, who talks vocally about having a child with ADHD and the struggles that she faces. What if she really nailed down and looked for 10 mamas with ADHD children? Who else was I writing down? Koo, I know that she used to be so macros, right? What about like life beyond macros? Because counting macros is like crazy time consuming. Or for the teachers, what about finding 10 virtual teachers and teach those hacks to virtual teaching or something like that, right? Like, start to think about what you need to get through this time and to feel more joy and incorporate that into your group. You're still doing 3-week focus on health, on nutrition and fitness, but what's different about you is what's different about this group. And that's why someone's going to join you. So another area that this is really going to challenge you is if you're just adding people to your group month after month. And we really have taken a fly the nest approach for the past year, and especially since switching over to BOD groups. And I want to talk just briefly about BOD groups because I know that there's a lot of coaches that are like, ooh, but engagement's low, right? And I do really just want to encourage you that like that has a lot to do with your ego and less to do with what your clients and customers might need. We are really trying to shift our focus in our Sisterhood Facebook community to be value-based and to be more present in there and to try to pull out engagement in there. But we stalked our roll calls in that Facebook community for months before making this decision. And it was discount coaches, maybe like hobby coaches, I'll say, roll calling, and a couple clients that like weren't even ours. And like some people that weren't even roll calling Beachbody programs. It's not like we pulled out this roll call with all these brand new engaged clients that were coach curious. No, the reason we removed it is because it was redundant, and we wanted to start building solution-based groups with a smaller amount of people that are currently engaging in our community. So by doing these like value added groups, and especially having them in BOD groups, not only are our clients seeing them, but our leads are seeing them. And honestly, it's allowing our customers to engage, to request to join that group, so that then I can reach out and have that conversation. Like, sure, we'd love to have you in this group. Like, where are you at with, your nutrition or blah, blah, blah. And it really starts to have that conversation. Another thing, like if you're sitting here thinking like, what's my thing though? Like, you didn't really give me any ideas. Like, nothing really sparked your mojo on what your group could be. I would love for you to ask a coach that's watching your stories or your coach for feedback. Because sometimes when we're watching other people's stories, you might have an idea. You should share that idea with them. Like today I was watching Natalie's stories, and she posted something awesome about looking for jeans. And it was a great story because it's asking her her people for engagement about something that's other than coaching or fitness, right? And then I just thought in my head, like, yes, I love this. So I voice noted her and I said, I love this poll. You're looking for ideas on cheap jeans. But what I'm thinking is like storytelling opportunity. So next time you get a coach paycheck that's $100 or whatever, you go to the store, you buy the jeans, you talk about how this is impacting your life and how this is like giving back to your family and contributing to your household, you know? So if you're watching someone's stories and you have an idea like that, share it with them. That's how this community is stronger together. And really the sisterhood, guys, yes, we host groups, we add value, we inspire women, but this coach community is the sisterhood. This is the sisterhood. And so many of you guys are watching each other add value to each other. So if you're wondering, what's my group? I have nothing. I have no ideas. Reach out, ask for feedback. And maybe that's not going to come right away, but that person might think of something in time, right? Or ask your coach to start thinking about that or to brainstorm together. But another area that this will challenge you is there's a lot less room to be running groups together when you're trying to think of individualized approaches, right? Even Erin and I this past month, I was like, I really want to do this all in group. And she's like, well, let's get up launching. Like, we need to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But like, I just need to do this, you know, because I'm at a point in my business where like, I need to feel joy in the group I'm hosting. And so we're figuring it out. We're pivoting. She had some clients that would fit good in there, but guess what? Not a lot, because all in's not Erin's thing. Erin doesn't binge eat. Erin doesn't struggle with nutrition. Erin doesn't want to go all in. So why would that feel authentic to her to share that type of group? Here I am over here been suppressing that really big value I think I have to offer because that, you know, because we were trying to fit into a mold. So if anything, I hope that it just sort of stirs something up in you tonight to think about what your next thing is. Let's Get Up is starting. Wicked. Follow the launches. Add your flair. Add your flair. Add your value. And that is the joy. And when you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. So don't be so afraid that by calling out, I'm looking for 10 teachers, that what about Sally down the street? She might not join because she's not a teacher. Who cares? You're looking for your people. That's what's going to make this business go round. That's what's going to make like you build deep in this business. I promise. Every person I've added that really hasn't been my people, it's been more difficult, you know? So just looking down at my notes. Yeah, start a morning Zoom, start the client chat pod. That's something new we're doing, and I'm really excited about it so far, the client chat pod. Another thing that I've been doing a little bit lately is tagging my clients in my stories. I might have said this last week, maybe it was in the Diamond Chat, but I'm loving it. Like, more of them are resharing that than I expected. And that is really allowing them to start sharing the fact that they're on a fitness or nutrition journey to their audience. And that tells me something. That shows me that there might be like a baby crack in the door of them potentially wanting to share their journey, right? So it's all good things that have come with it. Yeah, Jen, you have 100% creative control. Run with it. I've been in a couple conversations, guys, lately with coaches who are like, you know, like, I don't like doing things like this, or like, I don't believe in this, or, you know, then do it your way. I literally heard Kim say on her stories today, like, this group is not about like, you know, doing it at 1,000%. This group is about connecting with your heart set and your soul set. Like, the opposite of who I am, right? It doesn't mean her, like, literally, I'm like, oh, not me, don't want in. But it works so good for her, and this works for me because we're freaking different humans. So if you're running the same group over and over and over again and wondering why no one's clicking on your poll, it's because you're boring them. So let's spice it up and do something new. And like, this is month one, like, just, we're all brainstorming here together, you know? I think that's the beauty of this. I really, really do. I think it's the beauty of this business and of this team. So that's all I got, guys. I'm really excited for Let's Get Up. Also not really excited. Like I still, even after watching you all dance on Instagram, and I would really love to give a special shout out to Tammy Watson and Marianne Chilton, who I have been peeking at. And I just feel like you guys really have come out of your shell with this, and it is incredible to see. It doesn't mean that it's any easier for the rest of you to wrap your head around how you're going to be sharing it. But I do know for sure, when I watch those stories, I'm smiling. Like, and I'm thinking, you go, girl. And that's all I know for now. And I also know I'm going to go all in on the program. So I hope you guys do too. Amanda's asking, do you think I should focus on Let's Get Up for my weight loss ladies who renew to working out and it's not so hard on their joints? I think that every time someone joins us, it should be solution-based. I think that when Let's Get Up launches, I'm going to offer it to 99% of the people that join. But if somebody has a specific, requirement, then a solution-based approach would be better, right? But this program is good for anyone. So I think anyone that joins right now, it's really easy to get them to do that. And like, I approached a couple ladies that I think are coach curious about being in our test group. And one of them, like, I was almost embarrassed to ask. Like, she's so like rigid. And I was like, I sent her a message. I'm like, I've actually been thinking about you for a group that I have coming up, but it's way outside your comfort zone. Like, you want to hear it or no? And she said yes. And I sent her the info, and she's like, oh my God, I'm in. So, don't count anyone out. Has anyone noticed how anyone knows how Erin's are amazing coaches? Are you drunk? I don't get it, but your coaches are amazing. Court, as for your challenge groups, did you say you did away with your check-ins? Mine are so boring and stale. We've removed our check-ins from our Facebook community, and they are solely in BOD groups at the moment. Our ongoing Sisterhood BOD group, I mean, maybe like 30 people are checking in there. It's not engaging. And I think that it's because people don't go back after they check in, right? Like, what's the reason to reopen the app? But again, like I said, we really studied our roll calls before making this decision. And people, after they were doing an initial challenge or two, that wasn't serving them checking in every single day. The people that were checking in every single day were hobby coaches. So that was a decision that we made for our business. I don't know if maybe we'll go back one day, like, it's not set in stone, but for now we're rolling with it, and we're really focusing on our focused groups. These monthly groups, instead of it being like Start Strong, like only for 10 new clients, whatever the topic is for anyone. So if we have existing customers that resonate with that topic, yes, re-engage. Yes. Like, I have a couple of clients in this all-in group that, like, I thought they were long gone. I've been following up with them just as like touch points, but like, I didn't expect them to want to do this, but that helped re-engage them. So I think we were missing the mark a little bit on not reaching out and including existing customers in different themed groups. So are you changing your topics each month? That's the goal. Maybe one month we do just do a Start Strong, but like, the goal is to try to change our topics. Yeah. Or are you doing an all-in group in May? We're doing a Let's Get Up group. So I don't know if we'll have a themed group in May. But that's the goal, because I think it's still, I think that doing the same thing over and over again is still. Yeah. Re-engage, open for all. Erin's goal is to come up with something creative. Yeah. And it's showing our new coaches that it's okay to just have 3 to 5 people, That was another huge reason we got rid of the Facebook thing, was like, some coaches were starting and just relying on that. And that wasn't where we were putting all of our energy. We were putting our energy into new groups. And so it was like, no one was really supporting in there. It just, it feels good for now. Oh, also, guys, okay, I'll wrap with this. I don't know if you guys all read the email, but BOD Groups had me thinking about it. There is a new contest that just started. It's for the months of April, May, and June. It's a 12-week period. Each week in this 12 weeks, there will be 20, how many winners? Oh, they're going to randomly select winners each week for the 12 weeks. Okay, so in total, there'll be 20 winners for the $500 prize, 100 winners for the $100 prize, 24 winners for a 4-night stay at the Hard Rock at the Mayan Riviera. Man, they're really trying to offload those. They must have like got screwed on that deal. A ton of different stuff. Even they're giving away mixed bikes. One winner will receive the mixed bike. All you have to do this, to enter, guys, is to, every 10 invitations you send, you'll get an entry to BOG groups. Every 10 BOG groups invitations you send, you'll get 1 entry into this. Every participant that actually joins your group, you'll get 1 entry into this. And every day, if you fill out at least 50% of the activities on your daily activity tracker in the back office, you'll get an entry. So write yourself a dang sticky note to log into your back office every day and check off those boxes. And don't cheat yourself, because this is a huge opportunity to actually have a reality check of what you're doing in this business. Go in at the end of the day and check off and see what you've done. And hopefully you can get to 50%. And if you can't, then it looks like you got to stay up a little bit later to get to 50% to be entered into the entry for the draw, right? Last thing I'll say, I've had a couple conversations with coaches lately that feel like they're juggling all the things. And to that, I asked, you know, well, what are your top priorities right now? So I would love for all of you guys to just figure out what your top priorities are right now. One of mine, honestly, is feeling good. My emotional state is so tuned into feeling good. And in order to do that, I know that being a proof of the product needs to be a top priority of mine. So that's sort of how I come to that. But I want you to figure out what your top priorities are right now. And then, you know, because I in some of these conversations, a couple of coaches had said, like, you know, like I need to get off social media, or I'm scrolling too much. I want you to get real with this like competition or whatever you call it, and you having to go in and check off. It will be a really good reality check for how you're spending your time. Because I don't scroll, guys. I'm on my phone a lot because it's my job. So I don't feel guilty about doing my job. If you're feeling guilty about being on your phone, I would check out how you're spending your time when you're on your phone. Because you shouldn't be scrolling. You should be intentionally having conversations with people that are engaging on your content. And then you should be creating content that provides value to those people that are watching your stories. So maybe as we have this like 12-week challenge of having to go in and check off the daily activity tracker, we can hold each other accountable to only using social media for that purpose. You know, just a thought. That's all I got. Erin, do you want to wrap up? Or
No, I think that was amazing. Amazing tips shared by you and Jen. And I want to go back to what I said. Seriously, if every single one of us went and asked 5 people how they're doing, how they're surviving this, how they're getting through, think of the impact we would have over the course of this month. All of us collectively. And I really just want to encourage you to be a good, like, not even like outside business, be a good friend, be a good human, check in on people, see how they're doing, and start showing up on your social media with the intent to spread the light. I'm so excited for you. And I just put it in the comments, but if you feel like you're scrolling and spending too much time in the comparison zone and watching everybody else and it's putting you down, it's time to put up some boundaries for yourself, put on the blockers, literally unfollow, mute. If you feel like there's coaches in this team that make you ultimately feel bad because you're not doing what they're doing, stop following them. That does not serve you. Stop it. Like, I literally had to mute the Birds Papaya. I'm like, she's so good. Like, she's such a good writer. I can't. Like, I can't watch that. it makes me feel bad. So know yourself, get yourself in check, do what you need to do to put your boundaries up to make you your best, because you being your best is going to help other people be their best. And that is, and that is literally what this job is about. Like, what a freaking gift. Have a great night, guys.
Hey, hold on. I'm just going to answer a question in the chat. Sorry.
Oh.
She sent it to me privately. She was asking, like, for the contest, does it have to be a bod group? So yes, it has to be a bod group that you're invited to. And then she said privately, can I invite people who aren't my customers? Well, they need bod to do the programs. So I would say no, unless it's a free group where you're dropping Vimeos, and then I would say yes. But maybe asking Coach Corner if that doesn't clarify. All right, guys, have a great night.